Hey there, what's up? So today we're going to be reviewing some Am I the Asshole stories from Reddit. I am very curious to look at these. I've never really delved into anything like this. I've never really gone through any of these stories. And the few that I've chosen today, I have not read. I just read the titles, thought that they were pretty interesting, and wanted to check them out because I feel like they'll be pretty entertaining. If you guys end up enjoying this video, please let me know by hitting the like button down below and subscribing if you are new to the channel, and hit the bell to get notified on my next uploads. And yeah, leave a comment down below if you guys want me to do more of these, and if you guys have any recommendations on any stories. I've seen a few on TikTok, and they're wild. They can be wild. Am I the asshole for telling my wife she either needs to babysit the kids when I'm playing video games or I leave the house? I, 34 male, and my wife, 30 female, have been married for 6 years and we have 3 kids. 5 male, 3 female, 1 female. My wife didn't want our kids to grow up in a daycare or with a nanny, so she decided to be a stay-at-home mom. That was fine with me since she was working minimum wage before they were born, so we ended up saving more money. I currently work 8 to 6, but when I get home I usually bathe the children and feed them dinner while my wife finishes the cooking and cleans up. It works for us and we're content with it. I appreciate the work my wife does because it's not easy to take care of 3 high-energy toddlers, so I try to give her a break when she wants it. Every Saturday she goes to her sister's or invites her over. She usually just gives me a heads up and asks me if I'm fine with watching the kids by myself for several hours while she does her thing. I don't do much outside the house anyway, plus I like to take care of my kids, so I always oblige. Anyway, a few months ago, I made a new friend at work and he introduced me to Rocket League. I'm having so much fun playing it. We usually play on Saturday nights for a couple of hours when the kids are asleep, so it's no issue with watching the kids. But recently, he asked me if we can play on Sunday mornings because he wants to go to bed early on Saturday to work out early on Sundays. Well, I'm going to stop you right there. Don't revolve your family's life around the life of a coworker's preferences. Before I go any further, you're really basing your entire family's life just off the fact that your coworker that you play Rocket League with wants to work out early on Sunday morning. Like, how you're a 34-year-old man. I feel like you should probably have just a little bit more sense than that. I told my wife she can watch our children on Sunday mornings for a couple of hours while I play. She did it a few times but then stopped. My kids kept coming in the room when I was playing and I was getting distracted. I called for my wife to take them, but she was just goofing around on her phone. When I confronted her, she said I can't expect the children to not want to spend time with me. I told her I need time for myself. She said video games is a childish hobby anyway, and I need to find a better use of my time. I told her either she babysits during my hobby time or I leave the house and play elsewhere. She called me an asshole for giving her an ultimatum. So am I the asshole? There's probably just a better way to work all of this out. You know, I think there's certain points where he's wrong, there's certain points where the wife is just a little, like, gaming is a childish hobby. It's not. It's just what people do for fun. Again, he's over here trying to base his, like, family time around his coworkers just wanting to work out on a Sunday morning. I don't know, that feels weird to me. Is this the only time you play video games or request time completely to yourself? If so, I'm going to say, not the asshole. Working or stay at home, every parent deserves a few moments to blow off steam with a hobby or whatever. That being said, you suck for the ultimatum, and she sucks for judging your new hobby. Work on y'all's communication. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Yes, it is the only time I ask for myself. I don't go out of the house much except for work, so my kids take up all my attention when I'm home. I was a stay-at-home mom, and I'm married to an avid gamer. You work, and while at work, the kids are her job. And as long as you're both equally sharing the load when you're home, asking for solo time shouldn't be a problem if this is the only time, but it doesn't need to be brought up with ultimatums and anger. Sit down and talk. Explain that you need solo time and non-work social interaction the same way she does. Come up with a schedule where you have your time, she has her time, and you have family time over the weekends. Clear expectations go a long way. You know, there's just a better way to work. I don't think anyone here is really, an asshole. I just think, better communication. Okay, so the next one. Am I the asshole for telling my wife that I wasn't going to do the dishes, but she was welcome to? Now, right off the bat, yes. However, we're going to continue reading. So here it goes. I'm retired military as well as disabled vet. Because of this, when COVID hit, I stopped working construction to be a stay-at-home dad. My wife is out there doing things she loves and making the most out of her career she worked so hard to earn. I treat the house and kids as my job. I do my best and the house is usually tidy and the kids are fed and survive most days unscathed. Last night, I did the third round of dishes for the day and cleaned up the house before making dinner. She commented on how clean the place was and how nice dinner was, but nobody moved to help clean up. When I realized this, I finished putting the food away so it didn't spoil and figured I'm tired, I'll just do the dishes tomorrow. Later, I was in our bedroom putting away my laundry when my wife popped in and asked, how concerned are we about the dishes? Now, I'm not usually petty, but I was feeling petty for all the factors. Tired, not feeling well, feeling stretched, whatever, so I responded with, I'm not concerned at all about the dishes. If they are in there in the morning, they will get washed. I'm just done doing dishes today, but you can if you want. This didn't start an argument, but she was cool the rest of the evening. I asked a couple of buddies, and they said from a breadwinner's perspective, I was an asshole. This one's another weird one. I don't think so. Maybe a little. But I mean, there's again, I can understand him coming back with, kind of a petty remark. He was tired, he just 3 rounds of dishes. Everything like that. I don't know. I do think the pettiness of the response was unnecessary, but I can understand. When I'm tired, I get angry. When I'm tired, I have such an attitude for no reason. I think my answer on that one is yes. You were the asshole in that scenario. But it's kind of understandable. Okay, let's go to the next one. Oh, this one has an interesting title. Am I the asshole for not apologizing to my brother for saying if he doesn't change his views, he will die alone? Well, this is already pretty dramatic. Alright. Yesterday we had a family dinner at our parents' house where my young brother Ted informed us that he and his girlfriend Mika of 4 years broke up. Now this was a shock to everyone because they seemed very happy together, so everyone grilled him about why and he explained. So basically they broke up because Ted quit his job 6 months ago and wouldn't take more responsibility at household chores. I don't like Ted. I don't like Ted already. I can tell where this is going already. His reason for not contributing more than 50% in chores is because he is still able to contribute his share towards the overall expenses via his investment returns. But you're still not working. You're not doing anything. You're just chilling with money coming in. That's Mika wanted him to take more chores as she was working full-time and he was at home all day doing whatever he wants. He explained how he felt that the relationship was pretty balanced. He worked hard to achieve the stage and he should not be burdened by more work now that he doesn't have to. At first, I was a bit taken aback because I really thought that they were endgame, after staying together for almost 4 years. Mika and I had a very good relationship. We would get along really great and our parents also loved her a lot. We talked more and below is how our conversation went. Me, I think it's very stupid of you to let someone like her go because of effing chores. It's not just about chores, it's about equally contributing towards your home and relationship. Sometimes you can't be equal, you have to compromise and contribute according to how much is needed and how much you can. I thought people want to be on equal footing. That is what...
You what?
That is what women fought for, right? To be equal to men in every way. At this point, I was very irate and just said, this is a very bad attitude, and if you don't change your views, you may die alone.
She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment.
He just laughed and kept eating. But my mom, who until this statement was on my side, suddenly started saying I should apologize for saying such a thing. I asked her why I should apologize. I don't think I said anything wrong. Now I know my brother, he doesn't care what I, or for that matter anyone else thinks about his decisions. He will always do what he wants and he doesn't expect me to apologize at all. But my mom is still insisting that I apologize to him for my remark. No, you're not the asshole at all. Ted is, honestly, I think you ate. I think you deserve an award for that, honestly.
Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular, never the same, totally unique.
Yeah, no, you're not. You're really not. I applaud you, actually. Oh, this one's interesting. Am I the asshole for expecting my wife to come home when the house flooded? Huh? So for context, this is the second time the house flooded in 2 years. It is a basement flood, but the basement is finished. I hope y'all have been looking for like new housing. The last time I flooded, it took 3 people hours to clean it up. Since then I got some better cleaning tools, but hell of a job still. So today I get home a little bit before my wife. We're talking on the phone as I walk in the basement and notice it's flooded. At the time, we're talking about possibly ordering sushi for dinner. I immediately go into panic mode and tell her the basement is flooded, we need to clean this up ASAP. So I'm working my ass off for the last 2 hours cleaning this up in just total focus mode. I finally realize my wife isn't home yet. It's now 2.5 hours after she gets off, and we live 10 minutes from her work. So I text her and ask if she's coming home. Her response, "Oh, I thought you forgot about me."
Wait a damn minute.
At this point, I admit I was a bit upset with that answer, so I responded, "Sorry, I was a little preoccupied," and then decided to call her. She told me I was being an asshole because I never texted her the sushi order. I responded with, "Well, we obviously have bigger problems, and I could really use some help with what's going on." She responded repeatedly saying she didn't know I needed her help. Again, remember last time this took 3 hours and 3 people to get it to a safe point. I'm home alone. She then proceeded with just repeating she didn't know I wanted her to help. I finally just caved because I can tell she's mad at me and ask her if she wants my food order. If she says no, I lost my appetite, I'm just going to come home, then proceed to hang up on me. Am I the asshole for this? I've been absolutely working my ass off for hours and I'm just shot after a 9-hour workday too. Maybe I'm being too harsh, I don't know. No. I honestly just think... No, I think she's, kind of the asshole, because where was she for 2.5 hours? What was she doing for 2.5 hours? And she didn't even think to call? Just felt like I know you need help, but I'm gonna not reach out just in case you ask for help. That way I can have the defense of saying I didn't know you needed help. You get me? So no, you're not the asshole at all. She is. That one really hurt me because I always try to side with the women because, normally men are assholes, but, that one I just couldn't. I couldn't. Am I the asshole for calling my boyfriend ridiculous, disrespecting his boundaries, and ignoring him? This one could go south very quickly depending on what the boundaries are. Me, 25 female, my boyfriend Alex, 26 male, is simply put more outgoing than me. I am pretty reserved and quiet, so I don't go out much, and a lot of times Alex takes me out and hangs out with his friends where I always stay pretty quiet. He has reassured me that this is okay with him. A few months ago, one of his friends, Lewis, 26 male, began to make small talk with me. It was nothing big. He asked about my major, English Lit, and from there he would just chat with me sometimes. Ask about my classes mainly. He didn't seem to mind that I kept my answers pretty short and instead would go on to talk about his day, his classes, his cat, etc. I have always been more of a listener, so I don't mind. Fast forward to last week, and on Friday, I had gone out with Alex and his friends, and Lewis came up to me because he had seen The Green Knight, and he wanted to let me know that he didn't like it since I had mentioned before that it was one of my favorite stories. Medieval Lit is a topic that I really enjoy though. I know it's not something that is of interest to a lot of people, which I guess is what contributed to my eagerness to discuss it with Lewis since he did seem interested in the convo. On the way home, my boyfriend was pretty quiet, but beyond asking me whether he was okay and him saying yes, I left him to be. On Saturday, he came over to my house to have dinner and he was clearly still upset. During the whole thing, he was irritable, which also began to irritate me since he wouldn't say if something was wrong. So I admit that I got tired and told him to say if he was upset. He seemed to get more annoyed at me for that and basically told me that he was upset that I had been flirting with Lewis the previous night. Apparently he thinks that because I was grinning from ear to ear, as he put it. That meant I was flirting with his friend. He basically told me that being chatty with another guy was inappropriate and I was disrespecting clear relationship boundaries. Give a round of applause for insecure men. He had never shown discomfort with me talking to his friend before, so I asked for clarification about that, and he said that he didn't mind before because I had kept Lewis at arm's length. I then went on to call him ridiculous and a hypocrite since he is very close with many of his girlfriends, and I've never made a fuss about it or thought he was flirting with them. Because you're not insecure, girl. He is. He then went on to tell me that was different. He was not that type of guy, so there was no reason for me to think that to begin with. Now this genuinely made me angry, since that means he thinks I am that type of person. After he said this, I told him to get the F out of my house. That was on Saturday, and he has been sending me angry texts and trying to call. I've been ignoring him, and I don't feel bad about it. I don't think that I'm being irrational, but I told what happened to a friend of mine. She thinks I'm being an asshole. She says that he isn't completely wrong, and that I am childish for ignoring him, so drop that friend. Drop that friend too. No, you're not the asshole. You're not the asshole, girl. Run far from this man. You're not the asshole, girl. He needs to grow up, realize a sense of self-worth, and not be so insecure. I hope you're with Lewis. I need to know. I need to know. This was a lot of fun. This was a lot more fun than I was expecting it to be. I think we only covered like 4 or 5. I don't remember. My brain doesn't work. But I'm totally up for doing more of this. I had a lot of fun doing this. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed it, please be sure to let me know by hitting the like button and subscribing if you're new to the channel. And go ahead and hit that bell to get notified of my next uploads. If you have just anything you want me to just talk about, let me know. Just let me know. You know, I start college in January. I'm going to college. That's wild to me. So I'm kind of an open book until then. I don't know. I'm enjoying switching up my content style. It's a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you on the next one.